Listen.
If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now, sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet. White supremacy is not something you run into every now and then. Racism is not something that you encounter every now and then on a job. The whole job is racist. But I'm saying a person will say, I ran into some racists on the job the other day. I think there's some racism going on in that place where I work. Racism is the job. The whole thing is racist because the whole world is racist. There's nothing on this planet that's going on that is not racist. By racist, I mean what? That is not being orchestrated either directly or indirectly by those white people. Here again, I want to emphasize, not all white people. I never said that, but it's being conducted by those white people who have perfected the institution of white supremacy. That was a choice, and it took them quite a while to get it together, but when they did, it turned out to be the greatest political and religious force that the world has ever known. There's no religious system on this planet right now that's stronger than the religion of white supremacy. I want to repeat that. There's no religion anywhere on this planet. I don't care if you mention Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Sokogakia, Mormonism. I don't care what ism you come up with. When the white supremacists speak, everybody jumps. That's what you go by. When they speak, everybody jumps. Everybody falls in line. Everybody starts running. They're trying to get their babies in their arms and running across the desert. And they're reciting their religious creeds and all like that. But they are running from the white supremacists if the white supremacist says, you better run, because I will put a hurting on you. Yes, there is a God somewhere, but I'm your God, and you will obey me. That's the white supremacist creed. If you have dark skin, you will obey me. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you clap your hands to. I don't care how many hosannas you sing in your elaborate churches. When I step in that church and say, everybody out of here, you better get out of there. You better get out of there, and you know it. And you know it not by Neely Fuller telling you this, but by your own experience. In fact, you can't even establish a church without my permission. I'm your Roman emperor, and you ain't figured out how to get me out of that position yet, which means I'm smarter than you are, all of you put together, all of you black, brown, red, yellow people on this planet don't have nothing for me, because when I speak, you jump, and that's proof that I'm supreme. And you can talk about all that ancient building the pyramids all you want to, and I will tell you, yeah, have fun. Talk about how you did this and how you did that. But when I tell you to get up out of that chair, you will move. When I tell you to sit down, you will sit in that chair, and you won't move until I say so. And I prove this every day. Neely Fuller doesn't have to tell you. Just get in my face, and you'll find out in about 2 seconds who your God is. And I've always proven this. Now, this is the voice of the people who believe in white supremacy. I've never seen anybody who didn't back down when they decide to get rough. When they really decide to get rough. Now, sometimes people get in their face and say all kinds of things. But it's one thing if you're intelligent have a little bit of intelligence, you'll notice the white supremacists don't move until they get ready. Because the white supremacists, those white people, not talking about all white people, talking about the most powerful white people who believe in the system of white supremacy, prevent that from happening. That's the answer. They don't want that to happen. They don't want anything that's going to be uplifting, you might say, to use that term, of non-white people to happen anywhere on this planet. And anytime they see something that's going to be constructive happening among non-white people, they step in. Black people are always talking about, well, we need to improve ourselves. We need to do this. Marcus Garvey talked about it. Give me a little capital so that I can get a shipping line, and so that our people will not be beggars. So that the Negroes, that we have here, that's what we were called then, will not be beggars, will not be robbers and thieves. That you'll be able to walk the streets in Harlem and whatnot, and all the other places where black people are. And you can be safe because black people will not rob and steal from you because they have plenty of everything. They no longer want to do that. Most people are like that. Once they have things, they don't go around doing things like robbing and stealing people on the streets and all like that. So we can prevent that by seeing to it that people have the things that they need. So they are not out in the streets. They're at home enjoying themselves. And looking at the money coming in and whatnot. They're not thinking about harming anyone or anything like that. That's what we want. So I want to start a shipping line where we can go back and forth to Africa and all like that. And the white supremacists said, don't you know that if we wanted you to do that, we would have thought of that ourselves, Marcus, and all the rest of you black people who are always talking about going into business? Do you think that you are going to go into business on my planet without dealing with me? And I'm already in the business of keeping you in your place. And your place is under my foot. I could put you in business overnight, all of you. I could put you all in business. I don't intend to do that. And I don't intend for you to do it on your own. And if you start out doing it, I'll give it lip service and all like that. Like I'll help you, but I'll only help you up to a point. And then I will take over your business or I will crush it. That's the deal. And everybody who is in business, all the black people who are what you might call being successful in business, at some point, the white supremacists step in and say, okay, you have reached a point now where you're fixing to get out from under my control. And that's not going to happen. Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.